Tag. Wow, what a film to start this journey off with. Hi guys, welcome to 31 Days of Horror, day one. I can't believe I'm saying that again. I can't believe it's been a whole year and I can't believe we're doing this again. But I'm actually really excited because I've picked so many great movies and I just can't wait to go on this journey with you. Coming to you today from a very strange setting, it's my balcony. I do like, and you'll get to know this, to switch it up because a lot of this is obviously, it's a vlog review and you get sick of me sitting in bed watching movies and doing the undershot. So whenever I have the chance, I like to shoot it somewhere else. It's currently at nearly 9 o'clock, so I'm shooting this on my balcony. I've just finished watching Tag. Wow, what a film to start this journey off with. I was not expecting all of that. This will be spoiler free because as well, I don't really want to spoil this film because this film definitely has more in store than it looked like. It is not what it appears to be. I thought this film was going to be one of those horror movies where something huge happens at the start and then nothing really as big and as grand as that happens, and it's all kind of the effect from that. But I was very wrong with this film. I did not know anything about this film going in except for the first scene. The first scene was actually floating around on Facebook for a while because it's so extreme, and I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it's in a very extreme, physically violent gore. It's a lot, and I was very excited to watch this film because I'd seen that scene over and over and over. What I didn't know is that scene is like, it's like the tip of the iceberg and there's so much more in store. So if you have seen the scene that I'm talking about, don't worry because there's so much more. The film follows a schoolgirl who has a traumatic experience and the journey that she goes on from that to teach her about the world around her. I'm trying to be very cryptic. Is it working? This film is very much based upon an idea and really giving that to the audience over and over and over. But for me, the film ultimately failed in the end because it tried to over-explain and then change the meaning, and the meaning was so amazing and beautiful at the start, and for them to completely do like a 180 and make it about something completely different, which you will get to. Trust me, you're not gonna guess what's gonna happen. I was kind of disappointed with that. The film is Japanese, if I didn't mention that, and it's actually directed by the same Japanese director who did Suicide Club, Strange Circus, and Cold Fish. I absolutely love Cold Fish. Strange Circus is pretty good, but Cold Fish is amazing. If you haven't checked that out, it's very disturbing. And this film is very different. Tag is very different because all of the other films that he has are a little bit more raw, and this one is a little bit more fantasy. And it also does not look like it was filmed in 2015 at all. It looks like early 2000s to me. The effects are quite good, don't get me wrong, but just the stylized approach to it, it looks very dated. And yeah, really, I'm not sure if something went on with production, but really not what I was expecting for a film that is quite recent. But again, on that, it does have a lot of drone shots, which I guess is a recent thing that they've been able to put into a lot of films. Obviously before, they've had a lot of cranes and jibs and all that kind of stuff, but this one, it's like drones every 5 seconds, and drones like whizzing around, which is quite a weird effect and not something you see usually, especially in horror movies. So I thought that was really interesting, and it's shot in such a weird kind of psychedelic, not psychedelic, but very fantasy way, and I guess that kind of links it all together. As I said, the film has an overwhelming message and it has overwhelming elements as well. These are feathers, you'll see it throughout the whole film, really linking everything together, and I think that they tried to put into a nice little package, but I was really on board, trust me, but the very end of this film just really annoyed me, and yes, I mean, that's what happens in 31 Days of Horror. It's very much unexpected, but I do think the rest of the film was really thrilling, really interesting, and for a film that is really intense on its violence, gore, and just action, it's very psychological, which is something I didn't expect as well. This film is definitely one of those films that you think it's just hit the peak, you think it couldn't get any more strange, and then you just like dropped underneath, and it's like a Hereditary moment where everything gets bizarre. So if that sounds like something you would like, I would highly recommend this film to you. But for me, I was gonna give it a 7, but when the end came along, it's so weird, the end. It seems very 80s or early 90s, like it just does not fit with the idea of the rest of the film. So yeah, not really my thing. So I'm gonna bump it down to a 6 out of 10, but I'm still super glad that I saw this film. I think it's really interesting. And if you're into script writing, I think this would be a really interesting film to study for sure. And kind of like play with the structure, but I do think it has a really cool undertone and message, and that's not really often in horror movies that they really go for that. It's trying to be very soulful, and I appreciate that and respect it. Have you guys seen Tag? What did you think? Let me know down below, and thank you so much for being here for 31 Days of Horror. Please comment if you watch these, because I want to see who watches every single one. I really appreciate you guys, but when I see the comments every single one on all of the days, I do see you, and I do remember you, and I will love you for it. Please stick with me. I can't do this alone, guys. Okay, guys, thank you so much for the suggestion, Gwen, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow for another one. See you soon.